Hello everyone. So in the last session, we completed 5 of the methods of string. So we started with capitalize, then we went to upper, then lower, case fold, and then is lower, is upper, and finally we came to settings and testing title. So now let's just start with the next one, which is expand tabs. So in expand tabs, what does expand tabs do is it returns you a string, and that string value is, if you have tabs in your string, it gives it value according to the optional parameter that you provide. If you don't provide any parameter there, if you can see in the first method, we are not providing any parameter. And in that scenario, if you don't provide any parameter, all right, before I explain it, I'll just run it all so that when it comes here, we can talk about, I can show you the output as well. So let's just start with the first one. When you say expand tab, what it does, it takes by default 8 characters for the tab, each tab that you have there. And further, what you can do is you can specify 2, so it will be taking 2 characters. If you specify 6, it will be taking 6 characters. And yeah, that sometimes happens if the code get executed in the middle. So yeah, so I was telling you that if you don't specify anything, it will be taking in the expand tab 8 characters. If you specify 2, it will be taking 2 characters. If you will be specifying 6, it will be taking 6 characters in the tab. And if you will be specifying 14, it will be taking 14 tabs there. So let's just see in the example. What we have done is we have given tab between each word in the sentence. So it is a beautiful day. You see a tab here, a tab here, a tab here, a tab here, and then we are applying the methods. So if you're not specifying any value in the expand tabs optional parameter, then what you see is it gives it space which is equivalent to 8 tabs for the tab, and it gives you that it is a beautiful day. When you specify 2 of them, it gives you only 2 character space between each word, and that's how it shows you. So if you put in 6, it will be taking 6 character space between each word on tab. If you put in 14, it will be taking 14 spaces for each tab. And if you specify 0, it basically sticks everything together, and that's where we get to know that about the length of the characters there. The next method that I wanted to talk about is swap case. So swap case is where it swaps the case, as in the lower character becomes upper character and the upper character becomes lower character. So in this example, we have just written down swap case, and we have taken all the three strings which we have defined, which is underscore mystr, then the other one is underscore mystr1, and the third one is underscore mystr2. So that's what we are getting the output as in the method. Then we have split and join. So what does split do? Split also returns you an array of strings, and what it does, it splits the character. In fact, not the character, but it splits the sentence between, or it splits the string between substrings, and you decide which way you want to do. In our example, what I've done is I've written down str mystring.split, and that's what we are doing there. So max split and the separator. So we have to define the separator because I have not given any separator here. You can see I have not specified any separator in the split method. So what is that? What it does is it splits on the basis of the value of the function. So this is what we are saying, that on the basis of spaces, what you have to do is you have to split mystr and split it in different um, chunks. So that's what we do when we do the split. It is what we see is each sentence has been broken down to words. So each word is a string itself. And then Sorry, I just missed. So this is what we were doing initially for creating the split in the string. And then once we have got the split of the string, we are saying that give the space between the characters to join them. And that is where we are doing the join. So I'm sorry for the earlier explanation. I'll just rephrase it that my str split would be dividing everything between every sentence into words, each words, and then my str split with a join would join everything together, and that's what we see in the example below. So when we are applying the join, it is joining everything like it was originally defined there on the basis of these spaces. So each letter when concatenated would have a space between it. Or a good example, if you want to concatenate, and then you can have a space between them or whichever character you want. The next thing is center. So it doesn't return, but what it does is it expands your string on both the sides to the width that you specified in the method. So that's where the first parameter is width, and then the amount that it has increased, what character do you want to fill in? If you don't put anything there, it will be taking just the spaces. So that's what we have done. So we are taking my str1, my str2, and we are just writing down and putting the length there. And then we are saying that what you do is you increase the width of my str to be 43 and put whatever string that is there in my str in the middle, as middle as you can. In the second example, we say that change the width to 50, and whatever empty space you add, you put in a hyphen. Similarly, we are saying for the third one, which is underscore my str2, we are saying that increase the length to 35 and put z's there. And that's what we see here in the output. So you see it is putting the length 43, so it is putting this first item to be length of 43, and it has space in the front and the end as well. The second one, we said that put that equivalent to 50 and then put in hyphen, so that's what it has done on the both side. The third example, we said put in z's there. So we see that the first one is 43, the length of the first one, the second one is that is 50, and the third one is 35, although the length of the original string is 23. So that's what we can do there. The third example is starts with and ends with. So start with and end with method returns string, both of them. And no, I think it returns true and false, so it returns a boolean value. And it has start with finds the prefix and ends with finds the suffix. So that's what you have to specify. We have two optional parameter in both, which is start and the end. So start is from start it at is the location of the string from where it will start searching from, and end is the index of the digit or the character where it will end searching. So if I show you this example, the first one that I'm going to show you, so we are again taking all the three strings that we have, which is my str, my str1, my str2, all three of them with the underscore, of course. And then in the first one, we are saying does it start with a, and it doesn't start with a, but it starts with it. The second one, if I say does it start with I, the mtr underscore my str1, does it start with I? No, it doesn't. But does it start with one id? Yes, it does. Similarly, my str2, does it start with I? Yes, it does. Or does it start with space? So the first one, it doesn't start with I because there is a space in between before it. So the first character is a space, so it doesn't start with I, but it starts with a space there. And that's what we have done in this example. So whether the my str starts with a, false. This is true, this is false, this is true again with one id. It starts with there. It doesn't, the my str underscore my str2 doesn't start with I, but it starts with space. That's the reason you see false and true. Similarly, we are putting the ends with, so all of our sentence ends with dot, so full stop. So you see all three statements would be true, and the other characters which I'm trying to put would be false. So my str2 or my str ends with a, it says false. But does my underscore my str end with dot? Yes, it does. It ends with a full stop. Does underscore my str1 ends with I? False. Does underscore my str ends with full stop? Yes, true. Does mtr2 ends with I? False. Does underscore my str2 ends with dot or full stop? That's true. So that's my five formulas for today. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the other formulas, which is index, r index, replace, count, r find, and find. And then we'll be talking about the other methods which I have to still work on, which is lstrip, rstrip, ljust, rjust, split, split, split lines, is alpha, is ac, ASCII, is decimal, is digit, is numeric, is printable, is namespace. So these are the other things that we'll be covering. Along with that, we'll be also covering um, other part of our training, as in the other part of our work that we have to do, but we'll discuss it tomorrow. So in the next video tomorrow. So for today, I'm just signing off. Thanks for listening and good day.